Yo, good morning, everyone. Fiend Life, episode 4. It's your boy Wasabi. I'm probably going to do two today since I was kind of really tired yesterday and had other plans, so I didn't really do it. So, first one I want to talk about was, I put on my Twitter at Wasabi underscore SBT that I'm obsessed with the process, and so I sort of just wanted to delve more into sort of that concept. And I think it really pretty much pertains to anything in life, but melee being one of those things for me, is really that like I don't know, like I think everyone can get really good at Smash, and I think the people that really make it far, they love the grind, like they love the journey more than the end, like, and it's sort of like the thing of like where it's sort of like what's the best way to put it is that like yeah, of course you want the wins, you want the recognition, you want the upsets, you want to be able to say, hey, I beat X player, right? But do you love actually getting to that point? And that's like a huge thing. And like people think like at least I think in like 2016, 2017, or I guess it would be yeah, like because I've been here for a year, so like half of 2016, half of 2017 was like by far the biggest fiend in New York until like hacks came back. And like I just really love the process. Like certain things just come and like I remember before like when Adam stayed over and like Nico stayed over, I like get back from work, we'd play like 8 hours, like not even 8 hours, like it was like 6 p.m. to like 4 a.m. and then I get up and go to work again, and then I do the same thing the next day because they're still here. So like that sort of thing is comes easy, and it's like loving the process of it. Like just enjoy the journey of improving. Like even the failures are kind of fun, like because it's like, look, like I'm not there yet. Like there's still stuff to do, and like that's sort of what I remembered when I went to Apollo, because like I missed Apollo because I overslept, because of my jet lag, so that I really wasn't meant to enter, but like getting to money match everyone and like flex and slocks a lot and like man, melee is just so much fun when you're trying to improve. And I think people get frustrated when people get mentally frustrated about the game, it's because they care more about the win than like the process. Like, and they start saying like I'm not good enough for how long I've been playing, or like I should be better. And it's like, but if you really look at it, it's like, look, that's where the game's telling you are. That's how good you are, and it's uphill from there, and it's always going to be uphill. But it can be really fun, and I don't know. I'm just obsessed with like when you see that player where they started out and then like look a few years later and like they're a completely different player. There's so much more nuance in their game or whatever. And I think it's like a lot of people get discouraged that they want the win, but they're not willing to wait for it. Like the wins will come, guys. Like it's gonna come. It's just like legitimately like, oh, my alarm went off. Uh yeah, so like the wins will come. Like everyone's process of getting good, for some reason no one want, like not a lot of people want it like that. Like everyone would rather counter pick and like win a set or something like that. Like really grind out a character sometimes, or yeah, like like what's, and I think it like comes to a point where it's like you get the win, right, and then what now? And I think it like really comes down to the big question. I think it's something you like I know my answer for it, and something that you guys should look into is that like, do you guys rather have a like in the you have two scenarios, right? Would you rather have everyone think you're good or just be actually good? And I think when that question is something I've always like whenever I started melee, that was something I always asked myself. And the answer is always the latter for me, is I'd rather be good and everyone think I'm shit. It's good, like you're look down on me, I'll get the wins, but it's more so it's like I think people get impatient because they want the recognition, but like being obsessed with the process also means being self-aware. And what I mean by that is like just give yourself the recognition. Like screw, you know, like Marth69 on Twitch or chat or whatever. Like, like who cares what they say? And like I know it sucks, but like it comes down to being like when you're obsessed with the process, you're also self-aware of yourself. And at that point, you have to be your biggest fan. You have to be, I know we're jumping a little to a different topic now from where we started, but I think it's such a huge important thing where it's like you have to like mm, love yourself. And I think honestly, if I had to shout out one player that like really exemplifies this, like in terms of like they're just their number one fan. Like no one else loves himself more in the tri-state community in terms of like, and like he does it like in a jovial, joking way. Like I don't think it's like really cocky, but like, well, he's a good friend of mine, and I really believe it. Like when he says he's sick, I really believe he thinks he's sick, and he is. And so I have to give out shout outs to the Vortex for this. My good friend Ben. Is that like when I think he really exemplifies that it's like, like he always will give recognition to himself, and I think like a lot of people when they get frustrated and down in the game, like you're allowed to be sad. I'm not saying don't be sad. Like losing a game five, losing a tight game five, SDing sucks. But like if you're gonna, say like, oh man, that sucks that I SD'd or that sucks I didn't play well, you better also like say, oh shit, I played great here or I'm good here. And I think that's what Ben really does well is like he always give himself the credit. And that's why I think he always can like play in this very relaxed state. Like he's a very consistent player because of it. Like I think he's one of the low key like really mentally strong players in the tri-state because of it. And like even Ben would say like he isn't necessarily a grinder. His process is different from mine, but like in terms of being self-aware of the process and of yourself, which is like a we sort of had like a tangent topic. Like this conversation went a little bit somewhere else where I wanted it to go, but that's totally cool. Is that yeah, he's very self-aware of himself and he gives himself the credit, and I think that's why he's such a solid player. And I think it's something that a lot of players could like start looking into and start experimenting because most people I found in Tri-State are their biggest themselves are their biggest critics and not their biggest fans. And I struggled with this for the longest time. People, you gotta be your biggest fan or you already lost. And I am straight up quoting that from my boy uh, Gary Vaynerchuk, who's this like sick entrepreneur that everyone should listen to because he has some Bruce Lee esque level of philosophy that I really resonate with. So, yeah, dude, this week, try to be your biggest fan. All right, peace, guys. Fiend Life, episode 4. Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe. Let me know what other things you want me to talk about. If you have a question, just shoot it. Facebook, YouTube, whatever. You guys know me, so go for it. Peace.